Hi everybody, I'm Moh'd Dwairi from Jordan University of Science and Technology. I work at Princess Haya Biotechnology Center. My background, a bachelor's degree in chemistry. I'm a certified person from Sandia National Laboratory and also from FBA Association. Today we will talk about laboratory biosecurity, and this is one major component when we talk about biorisk management system in our institution. Today we will talk about the 5 pillars of biosecurity and how we can establish this course. This course was designed and developed by Sandia National Laboratory, and also we'll talk about our main key messages in this course. Before we get started to establish a biosecurity management system, we should talk about risk assessment and define which factor we can focus on it in this course. And also, when we talk about secure pathogens, it's very different and very difficult comparing with securing other material like money, chemicals, even the nuclear material. And also we will talk about the physical security, which is a major component from this system, and also we'll talk about personal management, and also we will talk about material control accountability, and also information and transportation security. And we shall not forget the awareness of security and biosecurity. This is a major component issue. It should be compared with every component in this system. There is like many examples about biosecurity threats in the world, and there is like 3 major components. The first one is the example about attacks from outside people to institution to cause harm, to steal or make fires or to ruin their reputation for the institution. And the other example, there's many attacks come from outside the institution to steal pathogens and make harm for their people. This situation, we call it the bioterrorism. And the other attack is attack from inside institution, from personnel inside the institution. And this is very critical and the most dangerous case, because this person, they know about our system. They know where the biological material is and what the biosecurity system, where it's located. And this is the major 3 components. There's like many challenges and unique challenges for when we talk about biosecurity. And as we know, it's very difficult to track and to detect the biological material in our laboratory, since we can find it in the biosafety cabinet, freezers, bench, incubator, and centrifuge. And we cannot count how many viruses or bacteria we have, because it will be replicated many times. And when we talk about comparing with the money is concerned in one place, and we can track it we're using the serial number. And when we talk about the chemical, it's very easy to track the chemical, because many of people, if they want to make harm to other people, they should steal a huge amount of the chemical. Regarding for that, the biological, it just need a small amount of biological material, and they can make reproducible for them and make harm to the other people. When we talk about biosecurity mitigation measures, we should do a risk assessment before do mitigation, and we should do a risk assessment for the assets, the vulnerability, and also the adversary. And this is very important, because we need to lead our mitigation measures to the relative risk of our system. And this is make sure we will not waste the time, the money, and the effort for our institution. And when we talk about the biosecurity management system, we talk about 5 pillars. And this 5 pillars is very important when we talk about establishing a biosecurity system. The first pillar, we will talk about the physical security. And this is very important. And it's include to make our institution safety from outside intrusion, from other people, even from other employees. And one of the major components of the system, when we talk about doors, windows, fence, and even the guards. And one of the major example for this one is called the graded protection. And this is, we have 3 levels. The first level is called protective area, which can give us make the institution from outside. This is for public people, from visitor, patient, or another people. And we have the limited area. This is just for the employees inside the institution. And the third one, and this is very, very important, this is the critical area for the employees, and this is limited for the employees who get the access for our laboratory. And also, these 3 levels of protection give us a clue which person have authorized to enter this level. As we say, we have limited, we have also protected, and we have exclusive area for our employees. And one of the major examples for physical security, we talk about the access control. And as we say, access control, it can be a key, a card, even can be a thumb, or maybe a guard inside the institution. And also the other important example for physical security, we will talk about 3 major components: deny, detect, and respond. When we talk about deny, this shall keep the outsider from outside the institution, like doors, window, and guards. And also the second one is detect. Just like surveillance camera sensor, they can detect where these people they can enter the institution, and unauthorized person they enter our institution. And the other one is called respond. This is mainly goes for the alarms, security response, which can respond for an intrusion that came inside the institution and respond for it and to define where it's come from. The second parameter is called personnel management, and this is related to the physical security, especially for the access control. This is mainly to decide who's and whom the personnel, even the employees, who will get the access control for this agent material, and even who get the access for this limited area and exclusive area. And this is depend on the job, what type of job he's doing, and what type of organization and what type of institution and laboratory he will go in and have the authorization to do it. And this is very important to track each access control and each one person who had the access control to these areas. The third pillar, we will talk about material control and accountability. And this is give the assurance that there's awareness and we have information about each biological material and toxins inside the institution. And also, where is this biological material and who is responsible about it and how many samples we have. And this is very important when we talk about biological material and toxins. And this is what we should differentiate between another type of sample of biological agent and about the valuable biological material. Because we cannot make a list or inventory for all biological material. We should now in this system define what type of biological material it can be valuable for threats from outside the institution, and it could make harm for the other people. And in this system, we should know what type of biological material we have, where is it, and who is responsible for this material. And this is a major component when we talk about the inventory for biological material. The other pillar, we will talk about transport security. And this is very important. We talk about secure the biological material and flow between inside the laboratory, inside the institution, and even outside the institution. And this is give us to secure this biological material from getting lost, even from getting from attack from outside the institution. And when we talk about transportation, we have 2 types. The first one, the internal transportation. And this is from laboratory to other laboratory. And this should be determined which laboratory we will ensure for the shipping, and also where the receiver area, and also what type of the employees will be responsible for this material. And also we should also make about the disposal for autoclave, like in incinerator rooms. And also, before we get the internal transportation, we should have a pre-approval process and also chain of custody. And this is very important to track our shipment from our laboratory to other laboratory. The other one, it's outside or external transportation. And this is very critical and very important. And most of the institutions, they have a contract with other company to transfer this biological material. And this is very important when we talk about the IATA regulation. And this is a regulation from inside the institution and also inside the country, and especially when we need to transfer the biological material from our country to other country, we should have a permission and also have a standard and regulation and policy to transport this material. And one of the major example and many important example, we talk about IATA regulation. The last pillar, when we talk about laboratory biosecurity, we talk about information security. As we know, this is 5 pillars is very connected to each other. We cannot have just 4 or 3 and without we have all of them connected. And we talk about information, we should secure all the information, especially the sensitive information inside the institution. And we have limit distribution, also the strict method to enter this material and this data also. And this is very important. We will talk about material control and accountability and what type of information we have in our institution and how we can secure this information. And this is very important. We will talk about risk assessment and determine what type of data we should secure and what the other data, it doesn't matter or doesn't have need to secure them. And this is very important to have a security system design, and also we have access authorization to this data. And this is very related to the personnel management to determine what type of employees and what kind of employees we will have this access to this material. And there is many network security we can use, like firewalls, user authorization, burst protection, and other components. These 5 pillars is very connected to each other, and we should not forget, before we establish the laboratory biosecurity system, we should have a risk assessment before get started and define where the gaps and what are the characterization for relative risk and the threat to our institution, and what type of threats we have, even from outside to cause harm or from outside to cause harm to other people, like by terrorists, and what type of other attacks from inside the institution to the other people. And this is the 5 pillars. It's very important to connect to each other, and we cannot have the one of them and leave the other 5. And thank you.